wrote my memoir when I turned 50, which was 20 years ago, I called it Selective Memory. And people said, oh, so you're going to be selecting your memories. I said, yes, I am. Millie, good evening, everybody. When I was given the opportunity to create an imprint of my own, it was really an unprecedented honor, and I felt all my years as a writer somehow came together at that moment, because there's so much trust that is invested in someone who's given that responsibility. And I like to believe that I have handpicked winners, like Karan has handpicked winners. When I asked Karan whether he'd be willing to do the book, initially there was a little amount of hesitation, but like Millie has mentioned, like Poonam has said, there's a certain spontaneity and a positive energy about him which is unbeatable. She's talked about him not acting like a celebrity. It's that very aspect of Karan's life that I find so endearing. Today, I consider Karan a cultural icon. He's not just a director of very successful films, not just one of the most successful TV hosts, possibly globally, but he's something much, much beyond that. And like it was pointed out, it takes a lot of courage to put your life out there. He says it in one line. He says, my life is my life. And he says it in the epilogue very wonderfully, and he says it even more beautifully in the end. That finally he's broken through whatever those inhibitions and barriers were that stopped him from speaking his mind. He's ready to share his life, warts and all. When Poonam started on the book, and we all were so excited about it, Millie and I talked about it at length, and we said, what should the content be? What should the tone be? At the end of the day, that is your prerogative, Karan. That is every writer who puts himself out there, every person's prerogative, what they wish to share and what they don't wish to share. When I wrote my memoir when I turned 50, which was 20 years ago, I called it Selective Memory. And people said, oh, so you're going to be selecting your memories. I said, yes, I am. It's up to me. What I want to put out there in the public domain is entirely my call, and only I can make it. But Karan has gone well beyond that, and he has written a book that is remarkably candid and remarkably courageous, because he has shared his vulnerabilities and moments from his life, his personal life, which I honestly was reading and rereading the chapters as I came driving to the venue. And I felt there are 3 chapters which for me were sort of encapsulated what he's all about. One was the chapter dedicated to his father, his feelings about what happened in that hospital. Post that, when he came home, his mother, who plays a fantastic role in the book, and of course the Shah Rukh Khan chapter, also written with so much love, and at the same time, so much truth. There's no attempt to say, oh, it's been one fantastic journey with no ups and downs. He talks about things not always working out between 2 people who love each other dearly. He talks about love in the most amazing manner. But behind all of it, what will come through is how each one of us is really quite lonely, and how to cope with that loneliness, and how not to let it get you down, but how it can actually be translated into a positive force in your life, which can lead you to create movies or music or books or poetry or paintings. It's the loneliness that starts the book, and it's loneliness which actually ends the book. But in between, there is just so much wonderfulness that anybody who picks up the book will respond to it first as a reader who gets completely drawn, pulled into another life. And that, to me, is the hallmark of a good memoir. If you cannot connect, if you cannot drown in that other person's life, if you cannot rejoice in that person's high points and you don't cry at least 3 times during the narrative, the book is somehow incomplete, and somehow it leaves you feeling, has he really shared everything, or you're aching to know more? I am looking for a sequel, Karan, and tonight I can just say it. You can write it 5 years from now. I'll still be around. You'll still be around, and your readers will still be around. And I hope, like Poonam said and Millie said, these are books that need to be told. These are books that need to be written. These are our young heroes and great inspirations and icons of modern India. When they narrate their stories and they do it without filters and they do it with such style and panache and at the same time with so much humanity, that book travels. That book travels not just for the next year. It's going to travel, Karan, for your entire life. And there'll be people who'll come up to you and say, I read it when I was at this age and it made such a deep impression on me, because it has a lot of messages in there without it being a message book. And I'm so proud of it, and I'm so proud that we had the chance to work together. With that, I believe we're going to be in conversation. Are we not, Millie? Thank you, Millie. Thank you, Poonam. Thank you, Team Penguin. Thank you, Shahrukh. Thank you all.